And the private sector, if it needs to spend money, it can deduct price from its tax. And the partnership for the private sector would be the private sector, meaning a business, a company, with an organization, with the university, faculty, and with the school to help, to be the leader in it. So in other words, Pattaya expat, if you wanted to operate a school, you're very welcome. You can. If you're interested, let's take a look.
Sir, on your left here, please.
Yes.
I have a question. You just mentioned that we could support a school. How much money would it take to get a school going?
Okay, let me give you two answers. The first one is the farm that you saw. For a small school, we put in about 600,000 baht. So we can put in half, we can put in half. And that's a farm, and most of the money stays as a loan fund. It doesn't go away. It's only a small part of it is spent. So in other words, the farm is still there. It's earning income. It's being used as a demonstration farm. And there's a loan fund for students and a loan fund for parents to continue. So that type of school is about that much. And it goes up to 900,000 if the number of students go higher. That's the first one. And this particular school, firstly, the amount of money that's coming in from the government is the regular budget that goes to the school. The government will give that money. And the money that you need to put in depends how much you want to put in. I think if you can just say we can have about $1 million a year, it would be a good start. And it slowly grows up. It doesn't start bang at the same time. You don't need $1 million even the first few months. So you take a small school and start doing it. Take a look. You have teacher training, obviously. You might see some stuff that is needed. Some can be second-hand materials. Some can be donations. Get some good teachers to go and help train the teachers, bring them up. So it's not big money, but it can be as big as you want it. Yes.
Oh, good.
You mentioned a small school. If we raised $1 million baht, how many students would you have?
I would say that if you want to do with the students within around 100 students.
Okay.
So a small school, not a big one. They said the primary school don't go up above 300, and the secondary school not above 500. So keeping the numbers small. So an individual, for instance, a hotel like this, and others join in. There are two types of school. The first one is the regular school. The other one is what we call career academies. So now the Prime Minister has approved in principle career academy for the hotel industry, hospitality industry, for teachers, for agriculture, for nurses, for business, as an example, and for future teachers. So these things can be done. You will start to learn how to do nursing from grade 7 rather than from after grade 12.
I have stand up.
Yeah.
I have two questions. First of all, how do we hook up for that chatting?
How do you what?
How do we connect for chatting with the students at the school?
Just with me, I left my card and I've applied for membership.
Okay. And the second question is, do you have volunteering opportunities?
Absolutely, yes. So many things. Any skill that you have that makes life better, please do so. Because we don't stick to a narrow curriculum. You can even tell us about the Boer War. Anything that's of interest, we can teach them how to dance, how to sing, how to do whatever makes them a better, more well-rounded person. And we're also going to link with the school in Pattaya on the wheelchair. We've already put in a farm for them. This is a few years ago. Yes.
If you get some people out of poverty, do they then have more children?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Do the people who get out of poverty, do they feel as though they can then have more children? And the parents of it, let's say a parent had one child and they were raised out of poverty, do they then have more children?
Usually the average number of children in Thailand is now under 2. Used to be 7, back about 45 years ago. And now the number of children per family is 1.2 at the moment. Whether you have a PhD or you have 4 years of education. The average is the same now.
Just a quick one, Mechai. I noticed that from the photos, there seemed to be a disproportionate
Girls and
number of
boys.
girls.
Yeah.
Why is that?
We have, but the girls are smarter. It's selected by, it's actually, it's 3/5 boys, 3/5 girls, and 2/5 boys. However, in the younger years, grade 7, grade 8, it's almost 50-50. The early years, it was just more girls than boys. Now it's about 50-50. That's because it's on marriage, it's not based on anything else.
I was just wondering, do you have anything? I've got a Thai girlfriend, and I'd like to send her to this school if it's possible.
Please let me know.
She's 43, though. I'm trying to help her get a business going.
Please get in touch with me. I've left my card behind, and I'd be very happy to help organize transport for in groups of one van, up to 8 people or something with your bag. Go up and spend a bit of time there. You have to pay for accommodation in the school and food because it's run by the kids, but I'll provide transportation.
I mean, she's 43, but I've been trying to help her. We've got a couple businesses and failed.
Great.
Maybe
Go and take a look first.
Okay, and the second thing, I was a member of an Elks Lodge in Sacramento, California. And one thing I might suggest is what they would do is any money that was donated, any cash that people left them, they would never touch the principal and only use the interest for charity work. So it's just a suggestion to keep this thing going.
Yeah, that's a very good one, but we take a look at 2 views. If you only use the capital, you get very little interest in Thailand, that's number one. And unless you keep on expanding your capital, it's not going to go very far. So we have 2 angles of this. We have social enterprise. We have a business arm, and the profits can only be used for our school. So that's one. In terms of anything else that people suggest, would be very, very happy to accept, listen, and take on your advice. Yes.
Yes, excellent education for us, especially in your career development universities that you're going to get into. How much English is taught?
How much English? Well, English has been a major failure in Thailand. And that's why, for instance, the Thais are very good at the hospitality industry, but the English is not good enough. That's why the Filipinos come. From now on, we have these schools, and a lot of the hotels, and some in Pattaya are going to join in to help turn some of these schools into, or part of their school into a future school for future hoteliers. Now, not only in the food and beverage, but in other areas, including entertainment of the school. So here's an example that turn these nice people into English-speaking nice people who can work well in the industry because there's a demand. In terms of nurses also, many faculties of nursing at universities want to help certain schools turn themselves into a school for future nurses. Because we have need for rural nurses. At the moment, 20% of the total population are now elderly and more getting older, and therefore you need health care. And these nurses would be able to work from home or in their home villages. So these are the things that are happening, what we call the career preparatory schools, career academies. We have military academies, music academies, sports academies. Why not all these things? Yes?
At the beginning, I think we heard about the commercial arm of your organization, Cabbages and Condoms. I just want to know, what is the link between Cabbages and Condoms and the school?
Okay. We started a non-profit organization, the Population Community Development Association, PDA, 45 years ago. 1 year after doing that, I realized that we could not survive in the long term if we relied on the generosity and kindness of others forever. We knew that, so that's why we started our first arm of social enterprise. We now have 28 companies established, and we have 19 restaurants. We have 2 in England, 19 in Thailand. And the profits can only be used for reserves, expansion, and charitable activities. So that we blend in what we have as profits into any grants and gifts we have. At the moment, PDA is 75% funded by its own income from the business arm and 25% from outside. And Cabbages and Condoms in Pattaya in particular, and the Birds and Bees, was established to generate funds to build the school. So I won the Gates Award for Global Health of $1 million back a few years ago, and I combined that with the income, profits from Pattaya Birds and Bees and Cabbages and Condoms, and build the school. And we still give money to help run the school. So anyone who spends money there, it goes towards helping the school.
Yeah, very good enlightening about your school. But the one question that comes to hand, don't you think there is an education system in Thailand, two-tier? 20% elite and high service, and then the rest of the schools seem to be dumbed down a lot.
Well, we have to improve the system, whatever the system has today. There's a huge desire to have a university degree, despite the fact it's pretty useless for some. That they have a university degree, but they go and take a job that is not university degree pay, because there's just no job for them. There are many are studying it to be diplomats. But Thailand doesn't have enough embassies. There's just a lot of these things going on in university, not at all relevant. We have to prune, and many universities are going to be closed down. But we have to concentrate on the skills, the technical schools, and bring in the combination of companies and the schools together, the technical schools, all the factories making things, get the kids involved, and they will supply you with very, very good labor in the future. So close cooperation between business, industry, and schools, and technical schools, and universities also.
Thank you very much, sir. We're running out of time.
Thank you.
Please give Kun Mechai, Mechai, a big hand. And I'm sure that if there's any questions, he still might be around outside for a few moments. But I'd like to present Kun Mechai. Oops. Don't break the... with a certificate of appreciation, not only for his talk today, but for the outstanding work throughout the years, not only with Cabbages and Condoms and population development, but also the Bamboo School. And in recognition of that, the PCEC has the honour of making Kun Mechai an honorary club member.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kun Mechai.